Hi, hello there. A few weeks ago, my son asked me if we had Franz Kafka's The Metamorphosis at home, and I realized that it's about time to read this famous novella. I should have read it in my high school years, but I haven't, despite being a bookworm then. As I started to read the book, I knew right away that this would be one of my next posts, talking about family relationships. I don't want to do a review of the book. I'd rather talk about my feelings as I read it. From the first moment, I found it natural to feel with Gregor Samsa, the novella's central character who wakes up one morning transformed into a giant beetle. I share so many of his thoughts, feelings, and fears. He feels responsible for the well-being of his family, father, mother, and younger sister. It's like the roles and responsibilities within the family were turned upside down. Gregor was a relatively successful traveling salesman, perhaps in his 20s, and he was the only one in the family working. In his age, he was supposed to build his own future, to start his own family, but instead, his concerns turned to past to take care of his parents. As he lost his job due to his transformation into a beetle, his life and relationships with his family deteriorated. Overnight, he moved from being a family caretaker to a burden and disgrace, which eventually led to his voluntary death. The transformation is a metaphor for a child from a dysfunctional family whose parents are incapable of unconditional love, but whose child has to earn their love and support by being successful at school or later in career, by being obedient, in short, by meeting parents' expectations as much as possible. To be a source of pride, not shame. Do you find such feelings familiar? I do. Even today, decades after my teenage years, my family remembers that I dropped out of violin classes quickly, that I wore long hair, which in fact I never did, and that I listened to wild music. Luckily, they never speak a word about my bigger sins and demons at the time. Suppose I had read The Metamorphosis at a younger age. I would have probably taken it as a science fiction or an absurd story. I would have certainly liked it, but I would have most probably seen the family relationships and their reaction to Gregor's transformation as quite normal. I don't think that I even knew the term dysfunctional family at the time, like 40 years ago, let alone recognizing dysfunctional relationships, especially in perfect families. When I read the novella this time, with my lifelong learnings, I experienced it very differently. I don't see Gregor's transformations as a cause of all the evil that has followed, but as a consequence of dysfunctional relationships in the family in which Gregor's value depended on being family caretaker. It was only a matter of time when the family relations will go down the drain. Had he not turned into a buck, he might fallen seriously ill or found a girlfriend or boyfriend and moved away. I always liked the novels with kind of absurd stories, with kind of absurd content. Catch-22, The Master and Margarita, Heart of a Dog count to my favorite works. And these days, I wonder whether I should read them again, because I feel that I would read them now with my eyes and my heart much wider open. If you like the story, thumbs up. Interested to hear more? Stay tuned. Bye.